Hey, hello, and welcome to a new video. This is a different video of the reaction videos that I did. I'm so sorry, but this is a story that I wanted to share with you guys because it's really important. I have a beautiful family. I have 3 beautiful kids, a wonderful wife, a blooming business, a wonderful YouTube channel. I have it all. If everything is perfect, it doesn't mean that it's going perfect in your head. And I know that the title says my burnout, and it's not like I have a burnout now. Many people will say, oh no, he has a burnout and it's going to stop the videos, and no. It's just, I have to give you a story of my burnout that I had 5 years ago or 6 years ago. Yes, I know it's storytelling, and I'm going to share a little bit of history of my life before I get to the point that I had a burnout. I also put this video on podcast, and for the people that only want to see reaction videos, I'm so sorry, but I felt the need of telling my story. If you are enjoying my storytelling and you want to have me now and then, not every week, but now and then, another story of my life, I had a lot of things in my life. A lot of things happened in my life. I had a really busy life. My life is really a roller coaster. At the point of 50 years old, and it's like I lived my life 100 years already. There's so many things that are happening in my life. It's going so fast, and maybe it was going too fast on some point. But let me start at the basics. I was really young when I started my hair journey. I was just 12 years old. Why did I start at 12 years old, and how could I start at 12 years old? Because there was one school in Belgium that you could study for hairdressing. All the rest was starting at 14 or 15 years old. But there was one school, and my parents sent me to that school because I'm a person that wants change in my life very quickly. I cannot focus very long on one thing. I have to do various things. I cannot do only my hair salon. I cannot do only my YouTube channel. I cannot focus long enough. That was a problem in the back. It's a problem today. If I edit my video, and editing is like 3-4 hours for editing, I have to stop after 1 hour, 1 and a half, and do something else. I do something in the salon, I do something in my private house, I have to do something. I cannot focus for very long. So I had many hobbies before I was 12. Maybe that's for another story. But I was telling my parents, I want to learn to do hair. And they said, oh no, it's going to be something that he's bored of after 1 year. So maybe we will send him at the age of 12 to this hairdressing school. If he's 14 years old and he's bored of it, he can do another profession. He can learn something different at the start as everybody at the age of 14. So, no problem. I started, go to that school in Belgium where they only could start at 12 years old. There were 6 students in my class, only 6. Really small class. Really fun. And after we started in September, so around New Year, January, my teacher was saying to me, look, I see you have some kind of talent with hair ups, like bridal hair. We didn't do much yet, but they already recognized some talent. I don't know what it was, but they saw it. And they said, okay, we have a contest in Belgium, and it's called Best Student of Belgium, and all the students can compete to each other in different categories: cutting, hair up, men, you name it. And they say, okay, maybe you can compete. I know you're very young, and all the rest are like 16, 17, 18 years old that are competing, but I think it's best for your development that you are competing But you have to go to a certain hairdresser nearby, and he's learning students how to do competitions, hair competitions. So I went to that hairdresser and I said, look, I was sent by my teacher and I want to compete with the best student of Belgium, and maybe you can teach me. And he says, you are very young, 12 years old. And look, I'm not a very tall person still now. I'm not very tall, because many people that are seeing me in real life or coming in the salon and they know me from the videos, they say, oh, you're smaller than I thought. So in the video you don't see that, but I'm not a very tall person. But when I was 12, I was really, really small. So he says, you're a very small young person. I don't know if I can teach you enough to compete in that competition. And I say, I want to do it. So I had a student of my class who was coming for a model. So I was training every week, and then at home, extra training. So after, I think, 3 months of training, and I did that hair up, I think 50 or 60 times. So I competed that competition. Guess what? I won that competition. And oh, I can show you, this is it. If you can read it here, maybe focus this. Oh, look, 88. This was my first award. I kept that because I won 51 awards in my life, and I kept 2. This one and my last one if I was champion of Belgium. But this was the best student of Belgium, and it was so symbolic that I kept it. I could not keep 51 awards. That was too big. I did it all away, and I kept the first one and the last one. And then I asked the trainer if he could train me for other competitions. And so I was learning and evolving. So at the age of, I will jump now, at the age of 16, I was bored of school. Remember, I cannot do a lot of things for a long time of period. I was really bored of school, and I was already champion of Belgium in the junior league, not the senior league, but the junior league. I started working in a hair salon, not school anymore, but I started working in a hair salon, but I was already 4 years in school, and I was feeling like I was trapped. I could not learn anymore. So I was going in a hair salon. But my trainer was a person who taught other hairdressers and stood on stage of big shows. And I wanted to do the same thing as he was. That was my goal. At the age of 19, again, I was having the feeling that I would start my own business. Let me tell you, that was way too soon, way too early. But I had a feeling I had to do it. That was my first mistake in life, starting at such an age. But that's another thing, maybe another story. But then I was doing shows, I was doing competitions. In 97, I was then champion of Belgium. Mishaps! Then that was finished, my career as competition. I could not do anything more. I won an international competition, and I also have the feeling, okay, this is done. Now I have to do something else. So I start doing shows and teach hairdressers. So I was doing that. I will jump very quickly now. At some point, I was asked to teach hairdressers for a company in Italy to do international shows. My area was Europe. So I went to Italy, I went to Ireland, I went to Denmark, I went to Spain, Russia, just on the border of Europe and Asia, but it was Russia, for a few years. But that was really, really busy, because the year before I started doing Europe, I built my new place, my new salon, and it reminds me that I have to show you my salon, a tour of my salon, but I always forget because It's really hectic, my life, and I forget. I built my own place at the age of 35. We built our own place together with my wife. And I started with working with staff. So I had 6 staff members in my salon. So it was really hectic because I had no idea how to run a staff. I was doing something, I was just, as I said, roller coaster. It was going very fast, very high, and it was really busy. I would start working at 8 in the morning and I stopped at 9 or 10 in the evening every day. On Saturday we finished at 6 and we start at 6. But it was really, really busy. On the side, I did international shows. So at Saturday afternoon, I left Belgium, and then I went to Ireland, Russia, Poland, you name it. And around Tuesday or Wednesday, I came back, and then I started working in the salon again. Really busy. In 2010, I stopped. I stopped doing that because I said, this is impossible to do, the combination of my hair salon and international shows. And not forgetting that my wife was standing alone with 3 kids because I didn't have any time. And she's not only just making sure that the kids and my private life is going as smooth as possible, but she also works in the hair salon. She is a beautician and has her own beauty salon beside the hair salon. So she's also has their own business and the 3 kids, and I was away all the time. So that was not good. Not privately, that was not good. But on that same time in 2010, I met a guy who says, okay, if you want to stop doing international shows, maybe you can do the same thing in Belgium and you can work for us. Okay, then I started working for them, and then we created with other hairdressers a Belgium collection, a Belgium fashion, and we taught Belgium hairdressers, and that was it. I was more at home at the time. So around 2 years, 3 years further, they sponsored a TV show that was doing hair transformations and transformations for people, and I was with a very famous stylist, TV guy, and I was in charge of the hair transformations. So they asked me, do you want to work on that TV show together? So that will be a good publicity for us and for your salon. So I said, of course, because remember, I always want to do something different. So, and then I started doing that. And that's when the problem started. I know it's a long intro, but that's when the problem started. So I was on TV for like 5-6 years. And then I start seeing people in my salon who are coming to my salon for me because I was doing these hair transformations on TV. And the people expected from me to do the same thing with them. And I can hear you think, of course, that's a good thing. Yes, in the beginning, that was a good thing. I was saying, okay, I was doing what I love, giving people transformations, because every client that comes in the salon wants to be more pretty if they go outside. So you want to change them. You want to give them a new color, new haircut. You give them hair tips because that's something it's really important for me in my salon that I give hair tips to every client. How to treat their hair, how to style their hair, which color that is best for your skin. That's something I want to do on a daily basis. But I started to get people in my salon who asked the impossible. Nobody could cut or color their hair as they wanted, and they expected me to give them what they wanted. I always said, if you have already 20 or 30 hairdressers in the past, nobody can cut or color your hair as you want. Maybe it's not the fault of the hairdressers. Correct me if I'm wrong. We jumped to 2018, and that was the first time that I said to my wife, I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I cannot do it anymore. I want to stop. And my wife says, stop. What do you want? And then I said, I don't know what I want, but I don't want my life as it goes now. And she says, okay, let's give it a rest. Let's go early to bed, maybe go on vacation, and it will pass. You know, you're in a bad phase of your life, and maybe it will pass. But it was not passing. I was getting really, let's say, moody, angry. I was even angry at my team, at my clients, even at my kids and my wife. I was not the fun person anymore, as everybody knew me, because every day I get out of bed and was like, I don't want to work. I had never had that feeling in my life. So I was like, okay, do I have a midlife crisis or something? I didn't know what that was, but then my wife said, okay, these clients that are sucking all the energy out of you, these are the clients that are coming in your salon because you are on a TV show. That's because you're a TV personality. And I was like, is that the problem? She says, I think it is. Then I said, I will stop. I stopped the TV show. I never worked with them again. I explained it, why, they understood, and I didn't work with them anymore. The problem was, all the programs, all the series, I was like 6 years, I was doing that TV show. They keep repeating that every summer. So I was on TV until last year or something. So it was not stopping. I stopped doing that, but it was not ending on the TV. It was 2019, end 2019, beginning 2020. It was not getting better for me. On some point, I was searching on the internet for another job. But I could not say that to my wife, because she knows if there's something in my mind that I will go through with it. So I would not say to anything anymore. Not even my staff, not even my wife. I was just searching. I was searching for something else. And then, everybody knows, COVID hit us. There was quarantine. So we were all locked up. For many people, that was a very bad thing. For me, that was my savior. Because I had to close my salon for a long time. The first time it was like 2 months and a half. And I was so happy. You cannot imagine. It was financially, it was very bad for the salon because we did not have any income. We had to pay the staff, although the Belgian government paid a lot of them. So we have to be happy with that government at the time, but it costs a lot of money. At the same time, I started my YouTube channel 2-3 months before. Remember, I always want to do something different and I want to focus on something different. So in these 2 months, I worked on my YouTube channel. I was having fun. You cannot believe it. And for me, the most important thing was that my YouTube channel was watched mainly in the US. So I was saying, okay, no problem. If they watch me in the US, they will not come to my salon. After 2 months and a half, they said, okay, you can reopen the salon again. I was not happy. Not at all. I didn't want to go working in the salon anymore. And I don't think this was a positive thing. And my staff saw it. They said there's something wrong with Jürgen, because for the people who doesn't know it, my real name is not Herr Buddha, it's Jürgen. So it's not something wrong with Jürgen. And my wife said, I don't know what is going to happen, but he's not in a happy place. Then they said, if we can reopen, you cannot put all the clients that you want in the salon. You have to be limited how many clients there are in the salon, because you can spread the COVID. So then I said, okay, my staff work, I will work less and I will work more in my office and edit more. But after a while, I was saying, okay, this is not healthy for my salon. I will make an extra room where my office is, and I will change that in an extra room just for another person, but I will only cut hair. I will not color anymore. I will not style anymore. I will do only man haircutting. And on that point, I did not realize it anymore yet. I did not realize it yet, but on that point, that was the change. So I changed it, and this is the room that you see now. This is my barber room. It was not like that in the beginning, but then I start learning about barbering, and there was a new world opening for me. So I worked here, my staff worked in the other salon, the bigger salon, and they did do the coloring and you name it. After 4 months, I guess, there was again a big wave of COVID, and they said, you have to close it again, your salon. I was happy again. I could work on my YouTube channel. We were closed for 4 months and a half. In these 4 months, I was really happy, but I realized that only doing YouTube was not the thing for me. Remember, I cannot focus on one thing. But I start missing my scissors again. And I had a lot of fun just cutting hair. So then I decided, when we reopened again, I think it was February 2021, I said to my staff, listen, there's something very important. You have seen that I was not in a happy place anymore. And I don't want to return to that person anymore, because I thought, I strongly believed I was getting better. I had a feeling of being happy again. So I said, look, I want to cut hair. I don't want to color. I don't want to answer the phone. I don't want to wash out the colors anymore. I don't want to do nothing. I know in the US you have a receptionist that are taking the phone. You have somebody who is washing the clients, but in Belgium you have somebody sometimes that are doing this stuff, but we are doing everything. I said, I don't want to do anything of that anymore. And I want to just do my clients that I have of the women and focus me on barbering. This is my new thing. As the months go by, I start feeling happy again. I was having the passion of my profession again. So this was a new life. This was my second breath. And then I realized, and that is how I come to the title, then I realized I had a burnout. I cannot think about if COVID was not here, what would happen? If I start doing something different, sell my salon, my life would look different. So for me, I know for many people, it's a very bad period, but for me, it was the saving of my salon and my profession. My burnout was saved by COVID. And I just wanted to make this video. Why I'm making this video is just to make sure that everybody knows how successful somebody looks in life, in your profession. It's not always going so perfect as you think it is. There is an underlying base that is not always so perfect. And I can say my problem started, I think, 10 years ago, slowly, with that TV show. Only thing I still want to say is I get a lot of messages of my followers, my viewers, and I'm so happy. Really, really happy. I'm fortunate that you are looking at my videos. But a lot of times I've been asked, can I come to your salon? I want to be cut by you. And I had people from far away that are coming in my salon. But on that point, I feel it, that my throat is squeezed closely again. You know that feeling that I cannot breathe anymore, because I'm afraid that people are going to be here with expectations that is not possible. People ask sometimes, they have really thin, fine hair, and I want to have a haircut with a lot of volume. It's not possible. It's not because I know what I'm saying. I have these backgrounds. I did TV shows. I won all this competition that I can give you a very big volume hairstyle if you have fine hair. That's not possible. Sometimes people come in with crazy colors and they say, I want platinum gray hair. It's not possible. Or you have very thick curly hair and you want a hairstyle that is really flat, really thin. It's not possible. Every hair, every client is unique, and people sometimes ask for something that is not possible. And they expect, because I'm on YouTube, because I did TV shows, that these things are happening. So unfortunately, I always have to say to the clients, listen, I changed to barbering. I do women's hair still, but these are the clients that I had before, like 10 years ago. I'm so sorry for the people who wishes that I could do their hair, but for my health, it's not always possible to allow that. Nevertheless, if you see me in any country, because I travel a lot and this is my passion, traveling, if you see me, don't hesitate to come. You can come, you can meet me, you can ask a picture. This is all perfect. I don't have any problem with that, any problem. But this was my story, and I want to show you guys that I'm not so perfect as it seems. I'm vulnerable. I have my problems, and I have my story, my backpack, and that's what I wanted to say. And maybe I will forget things that I wanted to say, and it's unscripted what I'm saying. It's not like there's a script here in the front of things that I wanted to say, but I just open the camera and do my story of my burnout, because a lot of people have the same problems. And I know a burnout has a bad name of people that are taking advantage of that, people that don't want to work, because in Belgium there's a possibility, if you don't want to go to work, you say I have a burnout, and the government is paying you to stay at home. And because of the people, we have a healthcare that is really good, really popular all over the world, but there are people that are taking advantage of that system and are giving burnout a bad name, the word burnout. I don't say much that I had a burnout, and I strongly believe I didn't have a full burnout, because I met people who had a burnout in the past, and they could not function anymore. I strongly believe I was really close to that total breakdown, and COVID saved me. So for me, it was a positive thing. I don't want to say it has to come back, please. No, it doesn't have to come back, and it was bad for many people. But for me, it was my savior. So not everything was bad about that. And I'm very happy that I found my passion again. And I'm very happy that I could share my knowledge of coloring and bleaching with you guys, so I can help you, so I know I can help other people. So you made me happy by watching this video, and if you don't like this video, I'm so sorry, but for me it was important to share that. All I'm going to say today is ciao.